Plants suffer from trouble as varied as nature itself. So turn to the source of advice and good ideas. Ortho. It's our nature to help.
4 decades of the best rock and roll ever made. Q104, Howard Stern all morning. Classic rock all day.
The rich are going to marry somebody. Why not you?
Much married, Jaja Gabor and Ginny Sales tell you how to marry a millionaire on Vicky.
Vicky, tomorrow at 10 on TV 10. Murphy Brown, tomorrow at 5 on TV 10.
This program is a paid advertisement for Hooked on Phonics.
Okay, we'll take care of this a little bit later then.
Okay,
we'll do some pickups.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Hello, my name is Chad Murdoch. I've been producing and directing television and film for over 10 years now, and it's kind of unusual for me to find myself on this side of the camera. But I'm here today because of this little guy, my son Michael. It was about a year ago that Michael showed some signs of wanting to learn to read. And at that time, I heard these ads on the radio for a reading program called Hooked on Phonics. I was especially curious because I learned to read phonetically. I was always a very good reader, and I wanted the best for my son. So I ordered the Hooked on Phonics program for Michael. And in no time, he started reading almost everything he could get his hands on. Thanks, pal. I was so impressed that I went to Hooked on Phonics to tell them my story, because I felt that any reading program that taught my son as quickly and as simply as Hooked on Phonics is just too good not to share. And when I did, I found out that Michael's success wasn't unusual. There were many, many stories just like his. So many, in fact, that I convinced the Hooked on Phonics people to do this television show. So we took our camera crews all across America, from California to New York, from Oregon to Texas, so that we could show you a few of the people, both kids and adults, who learned to read with Hooked on Phonics. So if you have a youngster beginning to read, an older student who may need some reading help, or if there's anyone in your life who has trouble reading, you should really take the next few minutes and watch these stories, because Hooked on Phonics just might be the answer to your reading problems. We went to a school in South Bronx, New York to meet a remarkable second grade class and their teacher, Sister Nancy McNamara.
I had heard the ads for Hooked on Phonics for years, and the idea that it was somehow connected with music or tied in with the music, I said, well, maybe something would work, because nothing short of a miracle was going to work with these kids that I had. This year, I got first 17 students. The class size was later doubled to 32 students, all non-readers. I had started using the phonics around mid-October, and I had begun to see pretty phenomenal results in a few weeks. The level of self-confidence is it's incredible. I mean, they want to read. They see the Hooked on Phonics tapes. They sing along with the music. The kids took to the phonics program like ducks to water. They had materials to listen to, materials to look at, materials to manipulate, and materials that they really got excited about. And they began to see progress in their own lives that they had never seen before. They began to get a sense of I guess, self-value, self-worth. They were getting someplace. So there was success, right away. Parents' night is usually a disaster. I had 100% of the parents come to see me. 100% of the parents Monday night, and some came back on Tuesday. They were fascinated with this program. The Hooked on Phonics program is the only program that has the visual and auditory input simultaneously. It's a logical, sequential program, and it works. I would recommend Hooked on Phonics for any age level, any nationality, anybody.
Our next story comes from Connecticut, where Richard Martinick, for more than 50 years of his life, did not know how to read, kept it a secret, and thought he would never be able to read. Then he ordered Hooked on Phonics.
Every morning of my life, I would look in the mirror shaving, and probably one of the first thoughts that ever crossed my mind in the morning was, am I going to get caught today? Is somebody going to find out? In turning 50, my wife gave a surprise party for me. All my friends, relatives came from, 100 miles away. They sat me down in a nice chair in the backyard and card table in front of me, covered with greeting cards. I showed a little bit of emotion, and my daughter promptly took over the reading of those greeting cards for me. Because I didn't know what to do. I couldn't possibly stand up in front of all those people and tell them, I've been lying to you. I can't read. I just couldn't do that.
I never really realized what an impact that had on his life. One day I went down the stairs because he would be in the basement, and he said to me, Mona, this is the key. Do you know how many years I have been waiting for this? It's finally here.
This product, Hooked on Phonics, came along, and it's a godsend. You can make every mistake in the world. You can make as many mistakes as necessary because it's just between you and the tape recorder. That's the success of Hooked on Phonics, and that's what makes it work. It takes all that shame, fear, embarrassment, and all that tension out of your life. The tension that involves when you're sitting with your wife, the woman that you love, and saying, help me, I'm stupid.
So I didn't know that this man, until he learned to read through Hooked on Phonics, that this man was really in agony every day of his life.
Hooked on Phonics has made the greatest difference in my life. It's turned it around 100%. I feel better about myself. I can read. But reading is only half of it. What it's done for me emotionally, it's just taken the burden off my back. It's just made life so much easier to cope with because I feel good about myself. And I contribute that to Hooked on Phonics.
I get kind of choked up with this because I know the hurt and what he went through. And because I didn't understand, he suffered by himself. And if I knew now all that, I'd say if I had to mortgage the house to buy that product to make this man what he is today, I would.
Just outside of Detroit, Ron and Glenna live with their son, Blake. At age 4.5, Blake was ready to start learning to read.
One of the things that impressed me the most about Blake's reading and his development in reading was the fact that when he was in kindergarten, he tested at a 5th grade reading level. But what really amazed us, and we were told by the teachers that tested him, that he actually comprehended on a 5th grade level, which makes all the difference in the world. And as a result of that, they moved him directly from kindergarten straight into 2nd grade at 6 years old. And he's done well. He's thrived in the 2nd grade.
It can be found in Ethiopia, Somalia, and Kenya. The gravity has the thinnest stripes.
I can remember one of the first little school productions he had, and Glenna was videotaping him, and when we got it home, and I was in the background telling Blake to slow down because he was reading too fast.
We're not biased, but we're very proud of him.
Yeah, we're extremely proud of him, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but sometimes I can't help it. I have to let him know what's going on, because this is too good not to share. And believe me, people who know us know about Hooked on Phonics.
Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Don Parker, who has over 40 years' experience in reading research and listed in Who's Who in America. In addition to many achievements in the fields of psychology and education, Dr. Parker is author of the SRA Reading Laboratory, which has been used by over 60 million students in 62 countries around the world.
I spent 6 hours over a period of 2 days, fine-tooth combing, going through all the motions of learning, just like the program said. And I tell you, I was amazed that my responses to my ear, my eye, my hand movement of the cards, total body feeling of the rhythm and the music, the clear-spoken voices on the tapes, it's a program that had to work. As author of the SRA Reading Laboratories, over the past 40 years, which has now been used by over 61 million in 62 countries around the world, in all cultures, I can say that Hooked on Phonics is a program I would recommend unconditionally for a 4-year-old, a 44-year-old, or more in any culture around the world seeking to learn to read.
Dr. Parker feels that Hooked on Phonics is the missing link in helping most students learn to read. Carol's son Robert struggled through the 1st and 2nd grade, so she ordered Hooked on Phonics, and his struggles have turned to success.
His report card this semester was the best that he's ever had. It was almost all straight A's. And that's exciting. You know, going from C's, sometimes D's, and seeing mostly A's and B's, and A's in reading, you know, A- in math. The spelling test that he would have before, he would maybe get C's on, but after using the phonics course, he gets A's, and this is the truth, on every single spelling test. When you have a program such as this that you can take advantage of every single day, 7 days a week, it's like you have your own in-home tutor. That's probably the most important thing about the Hooked on Phonics program, is knowing that it really turned my son's whole school situation, his whole school life around.
Ironically, Fred Carl worked for 20 years binding books that he couldn't read. Finally, with the help of Hooked on Phonics and his tutor, Sissy Parody, Fred is learning to read.
When I first got him as a student, he was classified as a 1st grade reader, 1-2, which is 1st grade, 2nd half of the year. And he recently has been retested, and he's up to 8th grade. Hooked on Phonics is the best thing I've found. If a child can't read, he can't go any further in school in any of his subjects, none of them. Can't do math because he can't read a problem. He can't do history because he can't read. He can't do science, he can't do experiments because he can't follow directions. What's he going to do? He has to learn how to read. If you can't read, you can't go anywhere, nowhere, nowhere.
I can't see any reason why anybody would have any problem learning how to read or write with Hooked on Phonics.
People that know how to read don't understand that people who don't know how to read are in a world all their own, a closed world, a world with no light, nowhere to go. They're just in the dark forever. It's like being blind almost. You can see, but you don't know where you're going. He's gone along for 48 years. He couldn't read anything when he got here. Barely anything.
It's worth it all, worth the weight in gold. If I had ever made a decision that affected my life more, it was getting help.
It's unbelievable. It really is. How much he's progressed in just, I would say, the last 4 months. Like Fred said, what he's learned now, he wouldn't be able to replace for $1 million. Try it. They give you a 30-day trial. I know they'll like it. It's going to work. It absolutely will work.
Hi, I'm Randy Thomas, and you've probably heard me on the radio talking about Hooked on Phonics. You know, call 1-800-ABCDEFG. Well, that's me. And I'm really proud to be involved with this program because it's helped so many people learn to read. In fact, thousands of schools and almost 500,000 people have ordered Hooked on Phonics. What is Hooked on Phonics? It's a program that helps teach children and adults how to read by teaching the sounds of the letters in the alphabet. All the lessons are set to music, and that makes learning to read simple and fun. You can work at your own pace, in your home, and in complete privacy. It's like having your own private tutor for a fraction of the cost. Hooked on Phonics includes 5 books, 8 cassettes, and 9 decks of flashcards, all color-coded. That means when you use the yellow book, you use the yellow tape and the yellow cards. Purple book, purple tape, and purple cards. Most of the lessons are only 9 minutes long, and they're easy to learn. It's as simple as that. You'll increase your skills in reading, spelling, pronunciation, and also build confidence and self-esteem. Being a better reader opens the door for job opportunities and increases your potential for success. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG. We're waiting for your call.
Just outside New York City in Great Neck lives a wonderful family, the Ungers. Bob is an accomplished attorney and author of a new book, Tune Into Success.
A lot of people try to criticize phonetics, but it's like a house. In order to build a house, you got to have a strong foundation. And what Hooks on Phonics provides is an unbelievably solid foundation to build upon for the future. And really, it carries over to any part of life. The enthusiasm level is absolutely incredible. It's every day, Daddy, I want to do hooks. I want to do hooks. He calls it hooks. I'm starting to call it hooks.
The other thing I find, he's starting to teach Sammy.
B, C, D, E.
And she's learning better from him with hooks than just from me. So he's having fun passing it on to her.
She knows a lot of letters. I think all she needs to know, she knows A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. She needs to learn Z.
I remember he called me on the phone when he finished the program. And he said, Daddy, I did it. I finished hooks. I did it. It's a tremendous self-esteem builder. And this success with that program will lead to other successes. And now he can read my book.
What do 2 lawyers who have made a name for themselves singing a national anthem before baseball games? Robert Unger and John Capos not only sing the song of success.
Adam is a product of the product. And if anybody wants to come here and see him read, they're welcome anytime. It works. That's the bottom line.
Dorothy Robb, who has her master's degree in education, has been teaching school for many years. Yet to balance between the distractions of her other children at home and her daughter's intense desire to learn to read, she needed another tool to help. Hooked on Phonics was that tool.
I would say this program is one of the best that I've come across as an educator and as a parent. If any parent feels their child is ready to read, this is a perfect program because it doesn't push a child. It lets the child learn at their own speed. I think Hooked on Phonics could be used by anyone, and just watching my daughter, who's 4, do it without any problems, without any explanation from me. Just turn on the tape and follow the directions. When you come across a program that really tries to hit the very basic for the child, give simple directions, give a positive approach, and help the child feel good about themselves so that they want to learn to read and they want to do it. You know, I mean, I'd buy this program and use it in my classroom. That's what I do.
This story comes from Copperopolis in the hills of Northern California. Joey and Rita heard about Hooked on Phonics from their friends and ordered it for their daughter, Jill. Joey, by the way, is president of the local elementary school board. Here's what happened.
After going through the program just one time, Jill experienced a dramatic increase in her ability to read. And in fact, now she's the best reader in her first grade class.
I think what amazes me the most is not only can she read much better, but the spelling. She's great in her spelling, and she aces all of her tests, and we're real proud of her. Since we've been working with Jill on Hooked on Phonics, she volunteers now to read in front of the class, which is great, and the teacher even commented on that.
One of the real impressive aspects of Hooked on Phonics is how effective it is, yet at the same time it's very simple to use. I'm a very skeptical, nuts and bolts kind of a person, and if I think something is overrated or I think I've been had, I'll be the first one to speak up.
It has a money-back guarantee. You can always send it back, but you wouldn't want to.
You know, I've told the school teachers, I've told the other members of the board, I've told parents at meetings and so on. I'm always raving about Hooked on Phonics because it works.
Next, we go to Los Angeles, California, where Artie Killigan talks about her son, Jamar, when he started to fall behind in school.
Hooked on Phonics isn't like a lot of the other programs that I've researched, and I've had a lot of people ask me that same question. What is so special about Hooked on Phonics? It works. That's what's special about it, and you know, you can't get anything cheaper. I've called private tutors, and you know, you can pay $200 a month for a private tutor, so it's well worth the cost. And when he starts 4th grade, then he'll be the one that's on top, getting the A's. He went from D's, and he's at probably about C pluses and B minuses, but his spelling tests have gone to B plus and A's. So that's what Hooked on Phonics have done for him, and I'm proud of that. I really am. I can't even give you one word that would just tell you how good I feel about Hooked on Phonics.
It feels good.
Yes, that's a good one. It feels good.
The greatest strength of Hooked on Phonics is that it goes right to the point of connecting the ear and the eye, the sound and the sight, the fundamentals of what reading really is.
Maria Daniel is another teacher who has seen the profound impact that Hooked on Phonics has had on her students.
The advantage that Hooked on Phonics delivers, it doesn't promise. I mean, 20 years of teaching, I've heard of a lot of programs, and I looked into them, and they promised, but they didn't deliver. I really have studied it as a phonetic structural program, and I feel that the soundness, that the way it develops, that the progressive way it presents is foolproof.
In a small Oregon town, we visited with Amanda Coble, who has shown extraordinary courage, and yet she has never lost sight of her dreams.
Amanda's level was, when we arrived in Oregon, between the 2nd and 3rd grade level in reading, and she was put in the 7th grade, which made it very difficult for her to read some of the 7th grade books I gave her, which left her a span of about 4 or 5 years to make up. With Hooked on Phonics, she probably came up to about a 4th or 5th grade level of reading, and she's had this at, I'd say about a month.
I was the one that saw it on the TV, and I said, Mom, call that and get me on Hooked on Phonics because I want to learn how to read.
I can't say I pray enough praise for it because I've watched it, and now that I've got it, it's everything they say it is. It's really good. Get Hooked on Phonics.
And I want to get into college, graduate from college, get married, whatever I want to do. And like I said, just again, thank you.